Throat chakra prep. So this is the week that you enter into the throat chakra energy, and in this week it's really important to note that you're moving from the lower three chakras, which are the physical energy chakras, through the heart chakra, which is the bridge, and now you're going into the higher level chakras, and all that means is higher frequency, higher vibration. So when I went through this journey, the energy when I would go into meditations, it was so fast and so strong, and the energy had actually transitioned from all about me to more of this like worldview, and the context of the conversations that I would hear in my head during the meditations weren't so focused on my past and past experiences, but were more, it actually transitioned more into future realm kind of stuff. And so when you go from lower, and this is my worldview and this is my perspective too, because I came into this world very highly developed in the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. Those chakras were very open and very predominant in me, and to this day I still have trouble working with the lower chakras. So it was probably a lot harder for me to connect into that energy, into that dense energy. And so I found that's where a lot of my blocks were. And like I've said before, I carried the sacral chakra energy. Basically, all the lessons of the sacral chakra followed me throughout all of my 7-week journey. And I was still trying to learn and understand and put the puzzle pieces together around what had actually transpired and happened to create so many blocks and kind of dams within my energy flow within the sacral chakra energy. But since I was very attuned and I came into this world very high functioning in the throat and the third eye and the crown chakra, once I moved up into this level and had done a lot of clearing in my energetic channel and had actually become very connected to my process, energy just flowed. It was very quick. It was very like I wouldn't even have to go into meditation really to start to feel the vibration and the energy flow through me. So depending on your own process, and if you feel like your stories kind of connect along with my stories, then this might be something you experience as you move into this week. If you are reverse and you are somebody who connected very easily and it seemed just beautiful when you were in the root chakra, the solar plexus, and the sacral chakra, I applaud you, because that's my biggest weakness. But you know, as you move into this energy, just know that it might shift. So we're dealing with two kind of different bodies here. And so from the physical body, the first 3 chakras, to the last 3 chakras in this more ethereal body, the energy is just so different. So you know yourself better than anyone, and so just prepare yourself. If you had a very rough go the first few weeks, you might really connect here, but know that you might connect and still be dealing with lower chakra stuff, or it might be the reverse. So just keep a really open mind, and your receiving method might change here too, just because the energy is a lot faster, quicker, so higher vibration. So you might get impulses and you might start to shift in how you receive these messages more. So again, trust is the biggest thing. When you start to hear the voice in your head respond back to you, or if you feel like you have, you know, I think I was in the throat chakra when I first learned I had 7 guides around me. And so I was in a meditation reviewing, I think I was doing the final review on like the Sunday for me. So the final review, and I was sitting and I could actually feel where a voice was coming from. Even though the voice always sounded the same, I would feel there was a voice here, and I'd feel there's something would chime in here, and I'd feel something would chime in here. And so I stopped and I said, who's with me? Can you like tell me your names? Tell me what's like, who is this? And one by one they sounded off and they told me their names. And I actually still work with some of those guides today. Oh, do I? I don't know. I think I maybe work with one or two of those guides still today. So it's just interesting. Just start to be very aware at every sensation you're feeling, because this energy is just so connected and so high frequency. Just be very aware of everything around you when you go into these states, and even when you're in the physical world. And so throat chakra too. So lessons of throat chakra for me anyways were to keep my mouth closed. So a big lesson for me was I really tried to help and fix and teach everybody those lessons that I was learning, and I was trying to kind of help curb their traumatic conflicts before they came to it. And so I was trying to take away their lessons in a sense, because I had learned so much going through this process and being in the middle of this process, that I just didn't want anybody to have to learn the physical world manifestation of the lesson that they were going through. I didn't want them to have to deal with that. So I tried to fix a lot of people's problems, having learned a lot already and being in this throat chakra perspective. I had so much grander perspective over a lot of situations and a lot of very small conflict things that people were dealing with, and I felt I could go in and try and get them to see from this grander perspective. And one of the big things I learned was that that here in this energy, we really have to be aware of what we tell people, and how much we may or may not be taking away a lesson that they need to learn. So just a good rule of thumb is, if somebody asks for your advice, go ahead and give it. But if they're not asking for your advice, just be a sounding board, be the person who can listen. And that was one of my biggest lessons. And so here I am again telling you about my experiences, and I don't want to forecast or have you start to preconceive how this week could flow for you. And this is probably why I told you about my experiences. Case in point, wait for somebody to ask, or wait for somebody to speak up, because by saying things too early, we could really take away somebody else's lesson. And when we take away that lesson, the full experience isn't learned or gained, and then it's going to come back almost stronger the next time, the orbit kind of goes around them and they're faced with this again. So just pull back, because this energy is so connected a lot of the time that you're just going to be very tuned in to people's fields, and you're going to have those answers. So just really restraint is a good word. Pull back and really let their energy engage with you, because you're so tapped in, you're so kind of fluid and can move in and out of other people's fields, and you're going to pick up these impulses, and you're going to feel things, and you're going to want to help as much as you can, because that's just the kind of person you are. But the more you can pull back from their energy and let them seek out your light and ask you that first question, then you've got full free reign to kind of guide them in what they're asking. But just recognize that this energy starts to get really fast, and you start mixing with a lot of other people. And so best of luck with Throat Chakra Week with Light and Love.